Hey bro, so I'm part of the HOA, the homeowners association. You have like a ton of packages on your porch. You know, HOA code says you're not supposed to have this many packages on your porch. They've been here all day. I've been watching this literally from my house down the street, 2 doors down, left side, blue house. I don't want to look at them. They're ugly. I don't get it how you have so much money. You just order stuff nonstop. Really starting to piss me off because I'm quite upset as of right now. You are getting a fine for this, for having all these packages on there. It's $25 per package. You have this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 times 25, that's $125 because they've been on your porch longer than 6 hours. That's the rule. You know what it is. I'll bring the fine by in a little bit. You can pay with cash, check, card, basically whatever. If you have any questions, just let me know. Okay, thanks.
Wow. HOAs. What a perfect representation of communism and big state nanny government. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name is Luke Radowski here of WeAreChange.org, and we have a lot of absolutely frustrating and absurd news to get into today, as of course the situation is not all right, especially here in the United States with all the latest technological advancements that are creating a lot of complicated quagmires that are going to be very difficult to solve. All of this as there still is a major debate about Harvard that I believe is a lot more sinister than a lot of people are let on to understand. We're going to be talking about that. It's shady past. It's doing some really awful, horrible things to society, all here on this independent media organization. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you can get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. I bet you could probably guess what's underneath this tape here. You guys know. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this video, I hope is satirical, but with the way that things are going in this country, with the temperament of effeminate government-loving soy boys, it probably is true, highlighting the larger frustrations of many Americans that have to deal with HOAs, made-up governing bodies that exert their unlawful will against law-abiding people that just want to make ends meet. As one commentator put it, he's been sitting at his house watching, and he questions, how do you have so much money? As a lot of Americans are sharing their own personal horror stories of having to deal with absurd levels of government in their life. This as the U.S. federal government and intel agencies are asking for more control, more snooping and spying laws as they are fighting to extend surveillance laws in this country that of course will allow them to look into more of your private own personal dealings, as the intel agencies are telling you that they need this to keep you safe, as of course they have continued to fail to keep you safe time and time again. But don't worry, this time if you just give up more of your rights, more of your privacy, more of your money, this time maybe it will work, said the absolute fool. This as we are living in a new day and age of surveillance, as Facebook Meta's just released a new face surveillance camera partnered with Ray-Ban that according to some will definitely erode any possibility of privacy. All of this is also happening as there is a surge of artificial intelligence created images and videos that along with audio are creating a perspective and picture of the world that of course is to the liking of the people manipulating those images and sounds for you. This is now a nonprofit organization has talked about the quote serious risk in public trust and information that is absolutely going to continue to be eroded when it comes to AI-generated content that will be impossible to discern if it's real or fake. As we are entering a new day and age of deep fakes that could be used and excuse a lot of really awful behavior by individuals that are of course close to the establishment. Individuals like of course Hunter Biden that have a lot of different photos and videos out there from his own personal hard drive doing some really interesting things, as it is estimated that this man has spent millions of dollars on an extremely debaucherous lifestyle that we can't even mention here on this broadcast, as of course he was cashing checks from Ukraine that now is dealing with a hellish, horrible situation as the Russian military has made significant gains recently, and public support along with military supplies is drying up for the Ukrainians that essentially have been bamboozled and used here by the Western Empire. This, as the Sun today is reporting that Kiev just endured a, quote, night of hell as Russia launched a massive missile blitz into the country's capital that attacked their infrastructure, injuring 53 people, as the situation there is expected to get a lot worse for the local population there, as it's fair to say that the situation around the world is becoming a lot unsafer for everyone. But that doesn't mean you have to have your head in the sand and your tuchus up in the air, laid bare for whoever there is to come and take it. As of course, I created lukeunfiltered.com, my own members area where I create videos that are centered towards helping individuals, along with 3 masterclasses, a forum to learn and connect to other individuals all around the world, a members-only t-shirt store, all available for people who sign up to lukeunfiltered.com for $15 a month. That's all it takes to support and sustain this independent media organization. You sign up yearly, you save $25 on top of that, less than 50 cents a day. Click right now on lukeunfiltered.com. Click right here to sign up. It's quick, it's easy, it's simple. You could also buy this as a present to someone who wants to learn survival skills, for someone who wants to learn how to expat, someone who wants to learn how to be an online content creator. We have all of that available. 150 plus tutorial videos going back 10 years on this particular broadcast. All of that huge library with videos centered towards helping you, all available right now when you sign up to lukeunfiltered.com, as we are going to have a special report ready for you today, right after this video, highlighting the larger predictive programming and subliminal subconscious messaging behind the Obama's latest Netflix film, Leave the World Behind, that highlights a lot of very significant racial undertones and anti-masculine messaging that truly is worth examining from a very critical perspective, as of course this movie is trending, everyone is watching it, and it's filled with so much crap. I'm going to be talking about that plus a lot more, all exclusively on lukeunfiltered.com right after this video. As of course I want to get into our main topic, and that of course is what is happening right now to the major institutions in this country after a congressional hearing kind of unearthed just how horrible they are and just how duplicitous, hypocritical they can be when it comes to discriminating and being racist against certain individuals. As literally the heads of these universities argue and say, hey, this racial group, no, it's protected. You can't say anything bad. You can't even look at them the wrong way. You can't even assume. You can't even accidentally sneeze in their direction, or else you're over. Your life will be ruined. You'll be kicked out of the universities. You'll be canceled, and you'll never work again. But these groups right here, yeah, have at it. Essentially highlighting and exposing communistic far leftist political ideologies that are based on racism and discrimination that have been officially endorsed by these public universities that were exposed during this congressional hearing. Now, at the center of this is specifically the president of Harvard, Miss Gay here, a person that Derek Lewis, a part of the NAACP, described as a, quote, distinguished scholar, and that any attacks against her are, quote, advancing white supremacy. Huh? That's very strange here, as of course she was allowed to implement racist and discriminatory policies against white people without any problem, without anyone batting an eye, until of course the question came about Jewish people, which of course stirred up a bunch of controversy and made people realize, hey, these institutions are pretty racist themselves, as online content creator Tim Pool said that she's a diversity hire who, quote, cheated her way into the position and won't be fired because she's a high priestess in your cult, which is a sentiment that is worth considering, as of course Harvard has just lost an estimated $1 billion in this entire saga, as already the president of UPenn that was a part of these congressional hearings was fired, but that's a white lady. She could go, as the continuation of Miss Gay's career is very telling in this entire matter, as Harvard is saying, yeah, we'll lose $1 billion, we'll have a lot of people coming out and not hiring our students, but we're going to keep her here, as these institutions are also playing up now the arguments of free speech when they previously violated free speech extensively for individuals daring to speak out against their racist and discriminatory policies. This, as in my opinion, Harvard deserves to fail. Not just because of this congressional hearing, but because of their atrocious record and impact on humanity. As it's important to note here that Harvard has led to some of the worst philosophies, ideologies, and practices that have been put on the rest of humanity by many of its most prominent individuals. Individuals like Henry Kissinger, individuals like Klaus Schwab, that all attended Harvard College and argue that it has shaped them to be the men that they are and greatly influenced them and their impact on the world. An impact on the world that I would argue is absolutely negative. Klaus Schwab, touched by Harvard, had this to say about his time at the university.
Let me go back to the time you said when you came here, it transformed your life. Was there a course, a professor who really made that difference for you?
Yes, there was one course, one seminar of Henry Kissinger, which really opened my eyes. I wasn't accepted to the seminar, but I sat in. I think he let me in because I was German. And it was relatively shortly after the war. There were not too many Germans here. And this created a friendship which has endured until today. And Henry has been several times in Davos. And I think it was mainly participating in his seminars that I developed my interest for geopolitical affairs.
Mm-hmm. This, as of course, he's talking to Bohemian Grove member David Gergen, who also attends many secret society galas where, of course, a lot of the recruitment for a lot of the higher-ups is usually done at these powerful institutions where no one other than Mr. Epstein literally had his own office and donated a large sum of money to, of course, this public institution that allowed him to use their facilities and probably students after he was a convicted member found guilty of hurting children in unspeakable ways, as we are finding out that Harvard even kept ties with him after this conviction as he poured millions and millions of dollars into this, quote, higher institution of learning that has some ties with some really awful human beings. This is the university that gave Klaus Schwab his start, that Henry Kissinger recruited everyone in. An institution with a major endowment to the tune of $50 billion, estimated to be even more than that. And should this institution be called out? Should it be ridiculed? Should it be investigated? Should it be held accountable for all the nefarious ties that it had? Abso-frickin-lutely. This, as now even many Harvard students are saying that the decision to keep the current president of Harvard is, quote, a part of a really large toxic culture on campus that is woke, that creates the woke mind virus, that also is connected to the intel agencies and some of the most powerful people in this entire world. This, as Harvard, by the way, is bigger and has more money than the economies of 120 nations in the world. In my opinion, way too much influence, way too much money, way too much power. Something that, of course, needs to be called out for more reasons than one. And in my opinion, we should really refocus this larger conversation about Harvard, as there's a lot to expose here. And I'm not just talking about the MK Ultra Ted Kaczynski links. There's a lot of other really shady things happening with this institution of higher learning that is absolutely filled of crap. So yes, do I stand behind free speech? Absolutely. Am I happy Harvard is being called out? Yes. Should the conversation go deeper? Absolutely. And if you agree with that, share this video with your friends and family members, as it is more imperative than ever. I got one more video coming your way, especially on the more subconscious, subliminal, racist, divisive propaganda, coming your way right now on lukeunfiltered.com. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on lukeunfiltered.com. More content coming here your way on youtube.com/wearechange. By the way, doing another live show later on today, 6 p.m. Eastern with Dave Smith. Stay tuned for that. Plus a lot more. I love you guys. Lots more coming.